Up next on The Bottom Line, a historic piece of legislation is signed into law.
We needed to come together and put forth legislation to begin to dismantle all of these persistent disparities.
'Tis the season. Montgomery County's finest and Councilmember Andrew Friedson team up with Target to make the holidays brighter for some lucky kids.
We still have $25.
Yay! We can buy more!
We can buy some more.
Let's go buy more!
Let's go do it.
A local nonprofit hosts a very special packing party.
24 hours, 2,400 cases, we can do it with your help.
And Councilmember Evan Glass rides along with the folks from Food and Friends as they deliver meals to hundreds of county residents.
It kept me from going off the deep end and eating the kinds of things that I had been accustomed to eating over the years.
Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Susan Kenedy. Montgomery County made history this month as it became the first jurisdiction in the state to sign a bill that addresses racial equity and social justice.
Pattern of disparities, persistent disparities that to this day continue. And I began to really, truly then reflect on the notion that if these were a result of structural policies and a history that had perpetuated this idea of having to grab onto power, then we needed to come together and put forth legislation, not a policy, legislation that then would be an instrument to begin to dismantle all of these persistent disparities.
The council worked throughout the year to craft this new policy, which has several goals, including establishing an Office of Racial Equity and Social Justice. For Councilmember Nancy Navarro and Council President Sidney Katz, this measure is personal.
You know that of the 5 councilmanic district, 4 are majority of color. So in reality, this is who we are. And so whether this is a fiscal responsibility legislation, because if we don't know that our resources are being invested in ways that begin to address those disparities, then it is a fiscal responsibility issue, because then we're spending money without knowing if we're getting the return on investment or addressing the issues that we need. If we don't realize that this has a major impact on our economic viability, our economic development, this is an economic imperative issue, because the majority of those children going through Montgomery County Public Schools are of color, and they're not doing so well. So what about our workforce development? What about the health of our communities? That has an impact also on the bottom line. So for those people who keep trolling my Facebook, I say that as a taxpayer, you should really want to support this legislation.
Even though they did integrate in 1956, Montgomery County was not integrated in 1956. I can see people who are shaking their heads yes with me. I would go to school with friends. Gatesburg was a small town. Everybody knew everybody. I'd go to school with friends, but you couldn't go to the movies with them because it was not integrated. Montgomery County has come a long way in my lifetime, but we need to come a long way for a lot of other lifetimes.
The bill mandates racial equity training for all county employees and establishes an advisory committee with 7 county representatives and 8 public members. The bill also requires all proposed legislation have an impact statement on potential effect on minorities. The county estimates this program to ensure racial fairness will cost about $400,000 per year. There were a host of elves on duty at the Rockville Target recently for the Heroes and Helpers event. The day pairs public safety officers with in-need youth for a day of holiday shopping, and Councilmember Andrew Friedson stopped by to lend a hand.
Hey guys, can we do me a favor? Can we make like a little line like right along here? I think Santa's watching.
So exciting to be here doing the Heroes and Helpers program, our amazing police department and police foundation, and also many other of our local heroes here working with young people in our community who might otherwise not be able to have an opportunity like this, to have gifts for the holidays and walk around the store here at Target with a tremendous corporate partner.
He's got some fancy shoes, they light up. Oh, Look at those. Those are so cool. Our partners with Target just couldn't be more generous and allow these young people to have an outstanding Christmas and holiday.
We're giving them each gift certificates and letting them buy whatever they want. It's been a project of the police for many years, and this year the foundation got involved to help supply them with the money.
These are my favorite, these Roblox figures. So cool.
Helping to bring the community and the police together.
It's kind of like community outreach.
Little bird.
And a birdie in a cage. And
LOL.
And an LOL.
And LOL nail polish.
And LOL nail polish.
Wow.
Children that they help today are the adults they're going to have to deal with in later life.
You know, are those standard issue or is that required?
Well, we go to a little side shop to get them, but you know, they do the job.
More people in to know there's a good side to the police. In the long run, it's going to benefit.
You get to go with a sheriff.
How are you? Are you
ready?
excited?
Yeah.
You ready to have a hug first? Oh,
All right.
This is the third year I've been able to participate in, we always called it Shop with a Cop. And it's really rewarding. It warms my heart to be able to help out with children that don't get as much.
got it.
Woo!
That's a telephone.
My mom's mom has that.
She does?
Yeah.
My
but
mom's mom had one
broken.
too. All right, well that
What's up, officer? I haven't had headphones in a while.
You haven't had headphones in a while?
Yeah. This is like a princess kit where you can take it all around with you.
So you can be a princess?
Yeah. I'm going to be a princess for my whole life.
I love that. It's just an amazing way to bring in the holidays and a great example of the police department, the community, the private sector here with Target coming together to really make sure that we're working together to serve those who need help and those who are in need so that everybody can enjoy the holidays.
The kids loved it. I'm thankful for you guys. This is a good event.
We still have $25.
Yay! We can buy more!
We can buy some more.
Let's go buy more.
Let's go do it.
A comfort case is a small duffel bag or backpack with a purpose to provide comfort for children as they enter into the foster care system. This nonprofit is headquartered right here in Montgomery County, and recently they held a packing party where hundreds turned out to help Comfort Cases achieve their mission.
So we are trying to make a huge impact in the lives of children in the foster care system as they enter the system. So we're trying to do 2,400 cases in 24 hours.
24 hours, 2,400 cases. We can do it with your help. So this order is 800 cases going to Lynn University in Florida. Their school participates in a program through Comfort Cases.
It's going to help that transition for 2,400 children into the system. They're going to get a bag of comfort items that many of us would take for granted, but many children who are entering the system don't have access to their own belongings, or sometimes they're waiting in holding areas after they've been removed from their families and from their homes for many hours. So this little bag of comfort will have journals and coloring books and books that will help ease that transition for them and that waiting time for them.
Behind me we have even more kids, hashtag Kids Helping Kids. They're from Halliwells Middle School. They've been here since 4 p.m. and they were killing it over here with all these cases they packed.
2,400 backpacks in 24 hours.
Wow.
So we're doing hourly shifts, and I'm here with my family. I usually come by myself and volunteer every week, but you know, with the family.
Picking one that seems good for a girl and that'll make them happy.
It is good. It's good for the families. Well, thank you all for doing this.
4 children that I got out of foster care myself, and they all showed up at my house with a trash bag full of clothes, and that's intolerable.
Right? That one is going to go over here on this side.
Okay.
We definitely want things put in a certain way. Like the biggest thing is having the stuffed animal on top, because then when the kid opens up the backpack, the first thing they see is that little stuffed animal poking its head out.
Really, really amazing to see all these amazing volunteers here who really believe in Comfort Cases and believe in really instilling that dignity in the children who, through no fault of their own, are entering these systems, but also just really who believe in Comfort Cases' mission.
Montgomery County is a community full of nonprofits working to meet the needs of so many of our residents. Another county partner is Food and Friends, a service that provides medically tailored meals across the region. As a member of the Council's Health and Human Services Committee, Evan Glass has spent his first year in office getting to know more about the dozens of nonprofits that serve the community in a variety of ways. And one of those is Food and Friends. Making the rounds in Montgomery County, the first stop was in Silver Spring to deliver some diet-specific meals for a four-year client.
So here is a diabetic meal for the client we're about to go visit, and the dietitians at Food and Friends do an incredible job of producing meals for each of the specific clients that they provide services for. Hi, Frank.
How you doing?
Nice to see you. Here is your meal.
Thank you.
Can I bring you any assistance? You got it?
Well, come on in.
Okay.
Come on in, please.
Frank is a diabetic who suffers from neuropathy, and he's also fighting cancer.
This picture was the last of my family.
He lost his wife to cancer 4 years ago and recently lost his daughter.
38 years old, passed last December the 2nd.
The support that he receives from Food and Friends is essential.
The fact that my mobility is not as great as I'd like it to be. After a couple of years in a wheelchair, so I'm had to relearn to walk again. So
well, you're doing a good job.
The man upstairs has allowed me to get up in the mornings, and I'm very happy about that.
Since you've been a client and receiving food from Food and Friends, what has that meant for you?
Well, I had lost a lot. I was over 300 pounds when I came out of the rehab center, and I had lost a lot of weight. And because, as being a diabetic, the food was very helpful in me, one, regaining my weight, and the fact that it kept me from going off the deep end and eating the kinds of things that I had been accustomed to eating over the years. And of course, that's the menu that comes in the package.
Frank says the program has taught him to try new foods and to be creative with his diet choices.
Oh, I've learned to kind of take a few things that I don't normally eat by itself, and then find a way to make use of it.
You are a resourceful guy.
I'll try to be.
Food and Friends started in 1988 to serve the AIDS population, a time when there was a lot of stigma associated with the disease. Over the years, the program has expanded and serves over 1 million meals a year to people suffering from a variety of conditions.
Also help the healthcare system by keeping people out of the ER room or out of other types of healthcare situations.
Absolutely. I mean, we do this because it's the right thing to do first off. And so it's just a great bonus that we save the healthcare system money. I mean, diabetes, cancer, HIV, you name it. We're helping those people live more fulfilled, nourished lives.
And for Frank, it's clear you cannot put a price tag on the support he receives from Food and Friends.
I'm here alone, and without these services, I would certainly have to hire someone, I think, to be able to do some of the things.
It has been a humbling experience to see the tremendous need that we have here in our county, but it has been a beautiful experience to see how many nonprofit providers there are who are helping all of our residents with all of the different needs that we have here in our community.
Yes. Well, it's been truly wonderful.
Well, that does it for this edition of The Bottom Line. For County Cable Montgomery, I'm Susan Kenedy.
What do you do if you smell natural gas? A gas leak can happen if a gas pipe is damaged, if an appliance that uses gas isn't hooked up right, or if someone leaves a burner or the oven on. If you smell natural gas, don't try to find out where it's coming from. Just get out. From a safe location, call 911 and then your local gas company. If the odor is very strong or you hear something hissing, leave the area immediately and warn other people as you go. Natural gas is highly flammable. Don't light a cigarette or use your phone or anything with batteries. Don't turn light switches on or off. Don't start your car. Don't do anything that could create a spark. Washington Gas's emergency number is 703-750-1400. Evacuate first. Call next.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?